Alright, so in every one of my videos, I dedicate a cold start to someone. A good friend, a fellow YouTuber, a subscriber. In this video, I'm going to dedicate this cold start What's up everyone, this is Scott with Team 512 and I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be installing red rev match paddles in my C7 Corvette Grand Sport. And guys, if you like cars, especially Corvettes, hit that subscribe button down there so you don't miss an episode. Now, every C7 Corvette comes with paddles mounted to the back of the steering wheel. In the automatics, these paddles serve as shift paddles. In the manuals, they activate the active rev match feature. Now, active rev match blips the throttle for you automatically on downshifts so you don't have to worry about heel toe shifting. Let's get started. Alright, so in every one of my videos, I dedicate a cold start to someone. A good friend, a fellow YouTuber, a subscriber. In this video, I'm going to dedicate this cold start to my good buddy Dave, Yellow Vet 04. Dave, this cold start's for you. I don't have my keys. Where are the keys to my C5? Can't find the keys to my C5. So leave me an awesome comment and I might dedicate a cold start to you. Let's take a look at these new rev match paddles before we install them. So these are genuine AC Delco parts. This is the left paddle here, and that's the part number. And here is the right paddle and the part number. So I will leave a link down in the description for both of these paddles. They are sold separately. Now let's come over to the interior of my Grand Sport and take a look at the paddles that are on it now. Okay, so you can see the current paddles are the stock paddles here. They're just dark gray, maybe black. You can see they say rev match on them. They're very drab and they are barely noticeable from inside and certainly not very noticeable from the outside of the car. So it's no surprise that I like red and black when it comes to my cars, especially in the interior. Now this is my 1999 C5 fixed roof coupe that I spent some time upgrading the interior in. And if you haven't seen those videos, make sure you check out the rest of the videos on my channel and you will see the install of those Corbeau seats with the red stitching, more red stitching, more red stitching, more red stitching, and more red. And so I have a video on all of those interior upgrades, and I'll put a link to one above my head right now. And of course my C7 Grand Sport, there is a lot of red and black going on there. So let's add some red to the interior. Alright, so this install is fairly straightforward. All we have to do is move the airbag away from the steering wheel. We're not disconnecting it, but it's always a good idea to disconnect the battery when you are working with the airbag. Then we also have to remove the silver trim ring that is behind the airbag, and then we can access the screws for each of the shift paddles. Let's get started. So in order to remove the airbag, you need to depress the retainer for the airbag, which happens to be behind this hole on each side of the steering wheel. And the way that you do that is with a punch or some other type of small tool that will fit in that hole. In my case, I'm using this long Allen key. Now, once you depress the retainer, you can use your hand or a plastic pry tool to disengage the airbag, just like that. So now this side is disengaged. We've got to come over to the other side. There's another hole over here, and we'll do the same thing. Now there's a good chance that when you're doing this, you're going to end up blowing the horn a few times. So just be ready for that. So there we go. We just pull the airbag straight out now that it's disconnected. Okay, so here is your airbag We're not going to disconnect the wires from the airbag. We're simply going to move it out of the way as we work on this project. Now, the screws for the rev match paddles are hidden behind this trim ring, so we need to get the trim ring out of the way as well. And so we will just grab and pull, and that's always nerve-wracking, but it will just lift away from the steering wheel itself as you pull on it. And there you go. So now we have the trim ring and the airbag out of the way, and I will point to the screw right there. So that's the screw for the left shift paddle, and that's the one we will remove and replace first. Now, the new rev match paddles do not come with screws and hardware, so do your best to not lose this. Just removed the screw. I'll move that out of the way here. And the rev match paddle is now hanging down here. All right, and there is a connector right there that we'll need to undo. All right, connector is out, and here is the old rev match paddle, and here is the new red rev match paddle. Pretty cool, you guys. That is awesome. So we'll go ahead and just reverse the process by connecting the connector and screwing it back in. All right, left side is in, you can see. Let's go head over to the right side and do the exact same process. All right, so the paddles are in. We're just going to reverse the process and push the trim ring back in, just like that. Fits nice and tight. And now we are going to put the airbag back in, and I have a feeling that it's probably going to honk the horn a couple times while I'm doing this. So let's see. There we go, 2 honks and it's in. All right, so I don't think you guys can see the paddles yet, but let's move the camera. Ooh, look at those paddles. Those things look awesome in here. They have a great factory look to them. They look like they belong in the car. Nice little accent. I don't think we can test them out here unless we start the car up, but I'm not going to do that right now. So there you go, guys. Pretty cool, huh? I think they look great. Nice little pop of color in here. Leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you think. All right, something really cool about these red rev match paddles, and if you have the automatic, the red shift paddles, is that from outside the car, you can really see them pop. Check this out, you guys. I got some glare from the lights above, but I think you guys can see that. I think the camera's picking that up. You can see from the outside of the car, the red paddles, and then of course, when we go and open up the door here, you can definitely see those paddles as you enter the car. Pretty cool. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, it is the next morning and I am going to test out these paddles. All right, you guys, you can see the new red Rev Match paddles right there. And if I put the car into first gear, you can see the gear indicator lights up white with the number 1 for first gear. If I pull back the paddle, you can see it turns yellow, which means active Rev Match is on. Pull it again, turns white, and active Rev Match is off. Now we'll test the left paddle. Yellow, good. Beautiful. So it looks like the paddles are working just fine. So I don't really question GM's decision to make the shift paddles on the manual a switch for some other function. It really is a cost-saving measure. They can make and produce all of these steering wheels the same exact way, no matter which car it goes into, an auto or a manual. Typically though, any type of switch that is close to your fingers would be something that you would operate frequently, and that's just not the case with the auto rev match paddles. Typically I'll turn the auto rev match on as soon as I leave the house, and it stays on throughout the duration of a drive. So to me it is a little odd that you would have a functional switch close to your fingers that doesn't require frequent operation. But I gotta say, who cares? These paddles look really cool on here. Now for anybody who hasn't experienced the auto rev match feature, I'll show you that right now as I downshift here. Okay, so you can hear it blipping the throttle for me. I didn't do any of that. That was all the car's computer electronically blipping the throttle so that I could downshift and not necessarily need to heel toe. Now, some people really enjoy the process of heel toe shifting because it is more engaging than letting the car obviously do it for you. But I think it's pretty cool. And if you're wondering what that exhaust sound is, click the link up top here. It'll take you to a video. That is the AWE Touring Axleback and Performance Xpipe. And it is probably one of the most amazing sounding exhausts, not just on a C7 Corvette, but on any car I've certainly driven before. So if you're curious about that, there's some links down in the description for you to check out. All right, everybody, that'll do it for this episode. Quick and easy mod to the C7 Grand Sport. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and leave me some comments. You know I love interacting with people who love cars and Corvettes just as much as I do. Till next time, see ya.